Most people say affirmations to change their life, but they miss the part that actually shifts the vibration. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to give you 3 sentences that work if you say them right. Not like a mantra you repeat while scrolling your phone. Not like a phrase you whisper when panic kicks in. These are energetic commands. And when spoken with presence, they don't just affirm your reality, they start to recode it. Because here's what most people don't understand. The words you speak are not isolated from the energy you hold. They are the bridge between your current vibration and the timeline you're trying to enter. If you speak from fear, even your most beautiful affirmations carry static. If you speak from lack, even I am abundant lands hollow. But when your voice aligns with your energy, when your nervous system relaxes into the truth of the words, reality starts to respond fast. So, don't just listen to the sentences I'll give you in this video. Feel them. Say them like you're speaking from the version of you that already knows. You're not just saying words, you're activating frequencies. And once you start, nothing stays the same. Meet a minima. Before a word becomes a sentence, before it forms in your mouth or echoes in your thoughts, it begins as a vibration. You don't speak to describe your life, you speak to create it. And yet, most people treat their words like decorations, as if speaking I am worthy on top of anxiety will somehow erase the tension underneath. But here's what shifts everything. Your words don't come after your energy. They amplify it. They reveal the frequency you've been carrying, often without even knowing it. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever said something positive and immediately felt a disconnect? Like you were lying to yourself? That's not self-sabotage. That's your body exposing a vibrational mismatch. Because when the energy of your words and the energy of your being are in conflict, your field doesn't respond to the words, it responds to the tension. Let that land. Your reality is not responding to what you say you want. It's responding to the vibration behind your voice. This is why some people affirm their goals for years and nothing changes. They're layering new language over old frequency and wondering why it doesn't hold. But when you understand that your words are electrical, that they broadcast into the quantum field, you begin to speak differently. You slow down. You feel into the sentence. You align your nervous system before you open your mouth. Because now you know, you're not just affirming a desire, you're transmitting a command. This is how ancient spiritual traditions work. Chants, mantras, spoken prayer. They weren't designed to be cute or clever. They were designed to vibrate through the body and into the field, collapsing time between intention and outcome. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand, not your hope, not your wish. Your wand, your instrument of creation." So, when you say a sentence like I am loved, and your whole body feels calm, rooted, warm, that's not just a nice feeling. That's your vibration aligning. That's your reality starting to rearrange. But when you say the same sentence and your throat tightens, your chest closes, your breath shallows, that's a signal too. It means your body doesn't yet believe the frequency. And that's where the work begins. The goal is not to force belief. It's to shift your presence. Slow down. Feel the words before you speak them. Pause long enough to let the vibration catch up to your intention. Because when your nervous system relaxes, your words become magnetic. When your breath deepens, your voice becomes a tuning fork. And when your voice stabilizes in truth, reality has no choice but to respond. This is why the 3 sentences I'm about to share are simple, but potent. They're designed to reach below the noise, to bypass the intellect, and to speak directly to the part of you that already knows how to create. But before we get to them, here's something important. Are you tired of attracting the wrong people and ending up in frustrating relationships? The truth is, the love you receive reflects the energy you radiate. If you want to build deeper, healthier, and more abundant connections, you need to shift your energy. In my book, The Law of Attraction in Relationships, I'll show you how to transform your energy and attract the kind of love you truly deserve. Stop repeating the same mistakes. Start your transformation now. Click the link pinned in the first comment and dive in. The sentences are coming. But now you know what makes them work. It's not repetition. It's resonance. And the moment you begin to speak from alignment, you become a different signal, a different story, a different future. Aqui, revelamos a primeira das phrases. Focando como ela desativa padrões automáticos de autossabotagem. E reprograma a mente subconsciente para segurança, merecimento e autocontenco vibrational. Before we go further, let's pause for a moment and get honest. How many times have you been close to what you wanted and pulled away? A relationship that was going well, a business idea that was finally flowing, a moment of peace. that suddenly got interrupted by your own overthinking? This is the hidden pattern of self-sabotage, and it doesn't come from weakness. It comes from misalignment between your nervous system and your desire. See, most people try to manifest new outcomes without upgrading the part of themselves that feels safe receiving them. They say, I want love, but their body still expects abandonment. They say, I want success, but deep down, they associate visibility with danger. They say, I'm ready, but their energy is bracing for disappointment. So even as they speak the right words, their field is vibrating resistance. And the universe, in its precision, mirrors that back. But what if one sentence could begin to dissolve that? Not by fixing the fear, but by grounding the energy underneath it. Here is your first sentence. Say it out loud. Slowly, with full attention. It's safe to stop running. I am safe where I stand. Let it land. Say it again. It's safe to stop running. I am safe where I stand. The sentence is more than comforting. It's reprogramming your subconscious. Because the root of self-sabotage isn't failure. It's fear of stillness. Your system learned to stay in motion, to anticipate loss, to stay ahead of the pain. So, when you start to experience peace, your body panics. Stillness feels unsafe. Success feels like a trap. But when you say the sentence and feel its truth, you start to rewire that survival code. You're telling your body, you don't have to run anymore. You don't have to prove anything. You're safe now, right here. Over time, this recalibrates your emotional baseline, from urgency to rest, from proving to presence, from survival to creation. Let me be clear, you cannot create a new life from a frequency of panic. And most high achievers are just high-functioning warriors, manifesting from stress, building while bracing, succeeding while suffering. But this sentence invites something different, a quieter power, a deeper alignment. It says, I trust that I don't need to chase what's already mine. It reminds your subconscious that receiving is safe, and so is stillness. And when you begin to live from this sentence, you stop interrupting your own expansion. You stop running from ease. You stop rejecting the very things you once prayed for. That's the paradox. We ask for miracles, but sometimes sabotage them the moment they arrive, because they don't match the chaos we've normalized. So I invite you to use this sentence the moment you feel that old pull to disappear, delay, or doubt yourself. Not as a punishment, not as a correction, but as a gentle return to presence. Say it when you wake up in the morning. It's safe to stop running. I am safe where I stand. Say it before you send that message, pitch that idea, or walk into that room. Say it until your body believes you, until your voice doesn't shake, until stillness becomes your new power source. This is where sabotage ends, not with force, but with frequency. Not with control, but with inner permission. Because the moment you stop running, you start receiving. Meet a minima. You've probably heard this before. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. But what does that really mean? It means the universe isn't responding to your wishes. It's responding to your readiness. And readiness is not proven by how badly you want something. It's proven by how open you are to receive it. How soft your body becomes in its presence. How silent your resistance becomes in its rival. Because most people ask for more. While holding the energy of not yet, they visualize money, but brace for struggle. They ask for love, but expect betrayal. They want change, but grip the past. And so, they block the very thing they're calling in, not because they're unworthy, but because they haven't activated the one state that allows it to land: receptivity. Receptivity isn't passive. It's powerful. It's a vibrational stance that says, I've moved out of the way. I trust what's coming. And there's one sentence that unlocks this frequency like a key turning in a lock. I don't chase. I align, and I allow. Read that again. I don't chase. I align, and I allow. This is the opposite of force, the opposite of desperation. This is the posture of magnetism. Chasing comes from lack. Aligning comes from presence. Allowing comes from trust. When you speak this sentence with presence, you send a clear message to the field. I am no longer operating from fear. I am no longer outsourcing my power to effort. I am no longer chasing what's already making its way to me. This sentence rewires the part of you that was taught love must be earned. That abundance only comes through exhaustion. That success must cost your peace. It says, I'm not playing that game anymore. And the moment you step into this energy, your field begins to soften and expand. Your breath deepens. Your shoulders relax. Your awareness widens. This is not the collapse of ambition. It's the awakening of true magnetism. Because here's the truth. The things you're trying to manifest aren't behind a locked door. They're sitting at your frequency's front porch, waiting for you to stop slamming it shut. Alignment opens the door. Allowing lets it in. But you can't do that if you're still chasing. Let this sentence be your reset. I don't chase. I align, and I allow. Say it before you check your bank account. Say it before you text someone from a place of anxiety. Say it before you overwork, overgive, overexplain. And watch how your life starts to shift. People respond differently. Opportunities flow with less effort. You stop being busy and start becoming magnetic. Because now, you're in receiving mode. And receiving mode is not quiet submission. It's energetic clarity. It's emotional coherence. It's the vibration of I already am. This is where your manifestations accelerate, not because you're trying harder, but because you finally stopped resisting what's meant for you. And the best part, you're not just receiving things. You're receiving yourself, the version of you that doesn't chase, beg, or prove, the version that simply aligns and allows. Are you tired of attracting the wrong people and ending up in frustrating relationships? The truth is, the love you receive reflects the energy you radiate. If you want to build deeper, healthier, and more abundant connections, you need to shift your energy. In my book, The Law of Attraction in Relationships, I'll show you how to transform your energy and attract the kind of love you truly deserve. Stop repeating the same mistakes. Start your transformation now. Click the link pinned in the first comment and dive in. The next sentence will take you even deeper. It doesn't just stop sabotage or open the flow. It actually reprograms your future timeline. Let's go. There's a version of you who already has the life you want. They're not a fantasy. They're not years away. They exist now in a parallel timeline vibrating at a different frequency. And here's the secret no one talks about. You don't become that version by working harder. You become them by attuning to their vibration and speaking from it. This is the essence of conscious manifestation. You're not trying to attract something outside of you. You're choosing to align with the future that's already real and pull it into now. Neville Goddard taught this with haunting clarity. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Live from it. Speak from it. Because your future doesn't arrive from time. It arrives through identity. And the sentence you're about to learn is the key to stepping into that identity. Not intellectually, but vibrationally. Here it is. I remember when this was just a dream. Let it sink in. I remember when this was just a dream. The sentence is a time bender, a vibrational bridge. It activates the emotional frequency of already having, before the thing has even arrived. Why does this work? Because the subconscious doesn't know the difference between a memory and a vivid imaginative state. It responds to emotion. It responds to belief. It responds to who you think you are. So, when you say this sentence and truly feel it, you're collapsing time. You're signaling to your subconscious, this is done. It's mine. It already happened. And when your energy says it already happened, your reality has no choice but to reorganize to match it. Try it now. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel into the life you've been calling in, the relationship, the money, the peace, the freedom. And now say, I remember when this was just a dream. Can you feel the shift? There's a softening, a knowing, a quiet power that takes over. This isn't about pretending. It's about activating your imagination as your dominant vibration. That's what makes this sentence so potent. You're not affirming the future. You're remembering it. And memory is magnetic. It roots into your subconscious faster than any affirmation ever could. Because memory has emotion. Memory has texture. Memory is real to your body. So, when you begin to speak your dreams as if they already happened, you become a match for the version of you who already lives them. This is where scripting, visualizing, and speaking collide into a single practice. And it's why the sentence works so quickly. It bypasses resistance. Because you're not asking for something. You're acknowledging it. This is how you rewrite your future. Not by chasing it, but by remembering it into form. Use the sentence anytime you start doubting your path. When results feel slow. When old patterns creep back in. Pause, breathe, and say, I remember when this was just a dream. Say it when you look at your vision board. Say it after a powerful meditation. Say it before a big decision, and let the version of you who already knows the outcome guide the choice. Because here's the truth. If you can remember it, you can receive it. The future is not far. It's already happening, in another version of you. And this sentence is the doorway that leads straight to them. Aqui. Vamos mostrar como aplicar estas phrases de forma intencional e vibracionalmente eficaz ao longo de 3 dias, explicando por que es curto período e sufficient para iniciar uma mudança real e perceptible. Now that you know the 3 sentences, you might be wondering, how do I actually use these? And more importantly, will 3 days really make a difference? Let's start with the truth most people overlook. Vibrational shifts don't require months. They require moments of emotional alignment, practice consistently. And the reason 3 days is powerful is because that's often how long it takes for a new signal to stabilize in your field. Not as a concept, not as a hope, but as your dominant frequency. So let's walk through how to work with these 3 senses in a way that isn't mechanical, but magnetic. Step 1. The morning ritual. Set the frequency each morning, right after waking. Before you check your phone, before you plug into the world, sit in stillness. This is when your subconscious is most impressionable. It's still operating in theta, the dreamlike state where beliefs are formed and rewired. Take a few deep breaths. Place your hand on your heart and say the 3 sentences, slowly. It's safe to stop running. I am safe where I stand. I don't chase. I align, and I allow. I remember when this was just a dream. Say each one 3 times, not fast. Not flat. Say them as if your future self is whispering them through you. Feel them vibrate in your chest. Let your nervous system absorb them. Let your breath sync with their rhythm. Don't rush. This isn't a to-do list. This is a recalibration. Step 2. Throughout the day, return to center. Your energy will be tested. Old thoughts will arise. Patterns will try to reclaim control. This is where most people fall back into autopilot. But not you. Not now. Every time you feel anxious, doubtful, or misaligned, pause and choose the sentence that meets the moment. If you feel yourself spiraling, it's safe to stop running. I am safe where I stand. If you feel rushed or disconnected from trust, I don't chase. I align, and I allow. If you feel impatient with your journey, I remember when this was just a dream. These aren't band-aids. They are energetic resets. Use them as such. Whisper them in the car. Repeat them before a meeting. Write them on your hand. Turn them into phone reminders. This is how you train your field to hold a new signal. Step 3. Evening integration. Anchor the shift at the end of the day. Return to stillness. Sit with yourself. No distractions. Just you, your breath, and your intention. Reflect for a moment. Where did you speak from fear today? Where did you choose alignment? And then speak the 3 sentences again. This time not to reprogram, but to reaffirm. It's safe to stop running. I am safe where I stand. I don't chase. I align, and I allow. I remember when this was just a dream. Feel them differently now. Let the day's experiences give them texture. Let your body recognize them as truth. You're not just saying them anymore. You're living inside them. Why 3 days is enough? Because 3 days of energetic alignment can do more than 30 days of unconscious action. When you repeat a sentence with presence, you reinforce a neural pathway. When that repetition is paired with emotional coherence, the imprint becomes energetic memory. 3 days is enough to interrupt your old default settings, stabilize your emotional field, activate a new dominant vibration, and here's the beautiful part. Once the frequency is activated, you don't have to force anything. Reality begins to meet you where you are. Opportunities arrive. Conversations shift. Ideas flow. Peace returns. Not because you earned it, but because you became it. This is why vibrational work is more powerful than effort alone. It doesn't just change your outcomes. It changes what you're available for. And it all starts with 3 sentences, spoken with intention, for 3 days. Meet a minima. You've been saying the sentences. You've been showing up with presence. You've been breathing differently, feeling differently, maybe even thinking differently. But a little voice still wonders, is it working? This is where most people get discouraged. They expect fireworks, instant miracles, visible proof. But here's what you need to understand. Vibrational shifts are quiet at first. They don't scream. They whisper. They don't show up as a jackpot overnight. They show up as subtle disruptions to old patterns. And if you're not paying attention, you might miss the most important sign of all. You're already becoming someone new. Let's talk about how to recognize the shift. 1. You become less reactive to old triggers. That situation that used to send you into panic. Now it pauses, and you're breathing calm, clear, unshaken. That person who always activated your self-doubt. You hear their words, but they no longer enter your field. This isn't detachment. It's vibrational evolution. You're no longer living at the frequency of that conflict, and that's a sign of massive change. 2. You start hearing yourself say new things suddenly. You catch yourself speaking with more clarity, more self-trust, more honesty. You pause before apologizing unnecessarily. You speak up when you'd normally shrink. That's not just confidence. That's your new signal becoming embodied. 3. Old patterns feel uncomfortable, even painful. This part surprises people. They think alignment should feel good right away. But often, the shift brings a moment of disorientation. You try to behave like your old self, and it doesn't feel right. You go back to chasing, and it feels off. You try to shrink, and your body resists. This discomfort is not a failure. It's your nervous system detaching from the old frequency. You're outgrowing the vibration that used to feel like home, and that's growth. 4. You start noticing synchronicity as a conversation echoes the exact sentence you just affirmed. A stranger says something that confirms what you were feeling. Numbers repeat. Clocks align. Messages arrive. These are not random. They're the quantum feedback loop. Reality is beginning to mirror your new signal softly, but unmistakably. 5. You feel more space in your mind and body suddenly. You're not thinking as much. You're not rehearsing the past. You're not bracing for impact. There's a stillness, not empty, but spacious, as if something invisible has been lifted. That's your energetic field clearing density. That's your system making room for what's coming. 6. You stop needing proof. This is perhaps the greatest shift of all. You stop asking, when will it happen? And start feeling, it already is. This doesn't mean you never feel doubt, but doubt no longer dominates your vibration. You've begun to trust the unseen, to live from the inner knowing, to hold the vibration long enough that external proof becomes inevitable. This is where manifestation becomes natural. Because now you're no longer forcing reality to change. You're holding space for what's already real in another layer of time. And that is power. The work you're doing, speaking from alignment, choosing presence, repeating these sentences with intention, it's not small. It's sacred. You are literally rewriting the energetic script that your life has been following. And no, the world won't always applaud right away. But the universe does. Quietly. Constantly. Completely. Every time you choose trust over panic, stillness over chasing, imagination over doubt, you shift your timeline. You collapse the weight. And one day soon, you'll look around and realize the shift didn't just happen. You became it. Es momento final preciso ser reflexivo. Inspirador y vibracionalmente elevado. Como se estivésemos salando campo energético de transformaco. Tamam vamos abrir gancho emotional para o próximo video. Meta minima. There is a voice inside you that has never been afraid. It has never doubted. It has never chased or begged or braced for pain. That voice doesn't shout. It doesn't panic. It doesn't argue. It whispers. It vibrates. It knows. And every time you speak these sentences with presence, with breath, with belief, you move closer to that voice. Because you're not just repeating words. You're remembering who you are beneath the noise. You're not trying to become something new. You're shedding the distortions that made you forget. This is the true power of spoken vibration. It doesn't just affirm a better life. It activates the energy that life responds to. You've seen now how one sentence can stop sabotage, how another can open your field to receive, and how the last can bend time itself. And all of that, every shift, every ripple, every realignment, began with you. With your willingness to speak something different, to believe something softer, to trust something deeper. So I want to remind you of something sacred. Your voice is not small. It is not background noise. It is the creative force of your field. What you speak from belief becomes. What you repeat with presence reshapes timelines. What you embody in vibration appears in form. And you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to feel aligned 24/7. You just need to return. Return to the sentence. Return to the breath. Return to the version of you who already knows how this ends in peace and clarity and fulfillment. Because that version isn't waiting in the future. They're already inside you, whispering these words every time you're willing to listen. So say the sentences, hold the energy, and let your life rise to meet the sound of your becoming. This was The Shift, and in the next video we're going deeper. We'll explore the 3 energetic blocks that most people carry without realizing, and how to dissolve them at the root so you stop repeating what no longer serves you. You're already in motion. Now it's time to clear the way.